Hi, and welcome back to my Nana's Apron. It's a rainy day out. The leaves have fallen off the trees and we're getting ready for winter to sneak in here, but that's besides the point. Halloween, yeah, it's coming. The spookies will be coming out, and I apologize for not doing more recipes. I'm hoping to get one more in before Halloween, and because I did more last year than this year. Of course, you know, I couldn't do that much this year. Anyway, I have some chili. It was a really easy chili that I made up the other day, and it was delicious. And I had always heard and seen people putting Hoecakes, cornbread cakes, on top of their chili. And it always looked so intriguing to me, and I never took a cornbread muffin and broke it up on the top or anything like that, but I wanted to try this out. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just took the recipe from somebody that was making another recipe that I think will work, and we'll see how it comes out. I don't know. Anyway, I have 1 egg, and I'm going to break all the liquids up in this bowl. That way I can stir them together. And for my milk, I want to take 1/4 teaspoon. This is half a cup of milk. I want to take 1/4 teaspoon of white vinegar. It can be distilled. It can be the kind you use to clean house, etc. And I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. Mix it up a little bit. That's how you make buttermilk. Of course, this is almond milk because it has to be dairy free. And then I have some melted butter, and this is plant-based butter, and that's what I can have. Now, understand that any of this stuff that I'm doing now with the plant-based butter and the almond milk, if you're not dairy-free, just go ahead and make it with regular milk and regular butters and everything like that. It doesn't have to be gluten-free, dairy-free. And I'm using a mix today. A mix that already is made. And this is, let me see if I can pronounce it right, Krusteaz. And this is a really good brand. This is honey cornbread, so honey in it. We're not going to put any sugar in this recipe today at all. We found that we really like this brand. The only thing is, you got to make sure they are not exclusively gluten-free. So if you pick up a box of this brand off the shelf, make sure it says gluten-free, because they have other ones that contain wheat. Okay, I mixed up the wet ingredients except for the milk, and I'm going to do that right now. I think the vinegar gives it a little bit of boost in the rising factor. And even though it's not regular milk that's going to turn into buttermilk, it still works the same. Now this is off of somebody's recipe, and I'm not sure how it's going to work. So you and I will go on a journey together to see if this is going to turn out right. And this is a half a cup of mayonnaise. Now I know they put mayonnaise in cake mixes to give them moisture. And I know the gluten-free cakes and cookies and all that need moisture because they dry out so quickly. That's what, excuse me, that's why you have to freeze them. And this is a fairly simple recipe. I got the hiccups, sorry about that. And I'm going to mix this in with the milk and the butter and the egg, just to make sure most of the lumps are out. Okay, now, this is the box mix, and I'm going to slowly pour the liquid into here because we don't want the batter to turn out too runny. And we're going to make pancakes out of this, so we have to kind of watch. And I'm going to stand up now. and you'll get to see part of what I'm doing. I kept a little bit of liquid out, and I'm going to stir it with a spatula. I like these because they not only stir, they get all the way on the bottom and around the sides, and they just make a really easy way to stir. And I'm going to need the rest of my liquid and maybe even more. Don't know yet. And so I can't wait to eat this on a bowl of chili. It's chili season, and I have a chili recipe already on YouTube, but I changed it up a little bit this time and made it less ingredients, easy, out of the can type chili. And I would put it on here, but the only reason I would do that is if I was requested to do so, because so many people have chili recipes out there. Now we want to make sure that this is all mixed in. And gluten-free flour is like a powder. It's not like your regular wheat flour. And it hasn't moistened all the way yet. Just keep stirring it, and you'll see where it's dry and where it's not. So when we get done with this, we're going to let it sit a few minutes, probably about 10 minutes. And that's to let the gluten-free flours hydrate and get all happy with the liquids. And that's for any gluten-free baking. You want to let your batter rest. I don't care if it's pancake mix, I don't care if it's a pie crust, you need to let it rest. Okay, we're going to be back after we let this rest, and we'll go make our pancakes. Okay, I have my pan heating up. I've got it on 7 on my stove, which is medium high, and I'm going to try this heat. Never think you're going to get anything ready right the first time, because most of the time it doesn't happen that way. But if you want to take the chance and do tests to see, because this batter, I'm not sure, but this batter is really thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test batch with this batter and then see if I need to add any water or milk to it. So I've got a quarter of a cup measuring cup that I sprayed with the vegetable spray. And you can use butter, you can use vegetable oil, you can use olive oil, whatever you prefer. I'm going to use bacon grease. Don't yell at me because it's not healthy. I know. Everybody's stuffed up right now because of the fall allergies. We moved here and we think that we're actually allergic to the pine trees. Go figure. Anyway, this is smoking. I don't want it to smoke that much, so I'm going to turn it down to medium. And then I think I'll add a little bit of olive oil so it'll help with the smoking. You can add butter, and it will bring the smoke point down. Okay, here we go, folks. Test number 1. I sprayed the cup with Pam. That's really thick. We may have to put some water in it. And if it's more runny than this, you don't want it to really touch each other, even though there will be times when it does. I'll flatten it out a little bit here. Now I want these small. They're going to be a cap on top of my chili. later on when I continue and I want to make pancakes out of them, I'll add more water to where they spread out more, and then I'll make pancakes out of them. They don't have to be perfectly round. We just want them to bake. And if any of you have made regular pancakes, when it hits a point where there's bubbles coming up out of the dough, that's when to flip them. I have to wait and see what this is going to do. I'm not familiar with gluten-free baking, and I apologize for that. So we're going to come back after I see that this is starting to bake or cook, and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, our little cakes have gotten to a point where there's no bubbles coming up through the dough, but I think I need to flip them because I don't want them to burn. So I use this little spatula as my flipper, and they look pretty good so far. Turn it away from me. Yeah, see, it's a little bit brown right there. But I don't want to, yeah, darn it. I don't want to burn myself. So this one is more burnt. Yeah, that's my life. This one's more burnt. And these look pretty good, so I'm going to switch places. I'm going to move this guy over here, move this guy over here, so they'll brown more evenly. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, second batch going in. I'll show you the first batch. Got a little bit brown around the edges. That's better than it being raw. So I did add 2 tablespoons of water to our batter. I was hoping that, as it is right now, it would spread out a little bit more and make it into more pancakes. And there are recipes out there that start from gluten-free flour and the cornmeal and all that. But at my age, you need to do things quickly. Okay, you guys, get in there. I talk to my food, by the way. Do. Okay. Again, I put more bacon grease on the bottom and more olive oil. And then we'll make these, and then cameraman Paul will be happy. I'll be right back. Okay, they're done. And some of them got a little bit blacker than what I wanted, but that's okay, we like it that way. And then of course I could have turned the heat down a little bit, probably to 2 or 3. I'm still not sure on electric stoves. So here we have the Hoecakes, as they're called. And this used to be an old staple for people in the old days. They would take a hoe, like you hoe your garden with, and they would put the Hoecake on top of the hoe and then put it on the fire, their campfire, and then they would have Hoecakes. That's why it got its name. Okay, I'm going to take this one and place it gently in the middle of my chili, and I'll be back to show you what it tastes like. Okay, you can do all kinds of things with these. Some suggestions would be bacon bits, jalapenos, any kind of pepper you want. and any kind of spices you want. You can put all kinds of chili spices in it, and I thought that would taste good. And also, if you can have dairy, you might want to add some cheese to the mixture. So I'm going to show you how it's done. You go in and you break the hoe cake apart, and I hope I don't burn myself, and you eat it like this. It's so good. Hits the spot. And it also brings down any spices you have in your chili, to where if it's too hot for you, this will bring it down a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope to get back before Halloween, but I don't know. So if I don't, happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you're brand new and you think you're interested in seeing gluten-free, dairy-free recipes, come back. I'll see you later. Bye.